Question. It says Raheem Sterling starts up front for Liverpool Football Club today. Should he stay at Anfield? Retweet for yes, favourite for no. In all your various clubs, did you always have a pretty good idea who was earning what in the dressing room?
Yeah, you certainly do. You don't know spot on, of course, but
how do you know?
Nobody speaks about it in the changing room. Nobody ever says facts and figures in the dressing room, but you just know from your agents. There's always somebody in the boardroom.
You believe your agents?
Not all the time. Sometimes you do, and if you employ the right agent, then yes, you do believe your agent. We know that they're in it for their, they're in it for money as well. Nobody's stupid. Or I like to think that nobody's stupid enough to think that they're just in it for the benefits.
So this
of me.
won't cause an issue in the Liverpool dressing room, the kind of money that he's on now and the kind of money that he's asking for?
No, I honestly did go by it. When I signed my contract, I was always happy with the figures that were on my contract. I didn't worry about what anybody else was earning. The one time I did worry about what other people was earning, when people were coming in to sort of either replace you or do the same job as you, and they were just terrible, but earning 3-4 times as much money as you, and they were in the reserves. Then that's a problem. I'd never cared if a centre forward came in, earned 10 times as much money as me, but banged in 20 goals a season. That could only benefit me.
Raheem Sterling's only scored 3 goals in the Premier League in his last 23 matches. But it wouldn't be an issue within the dressing room that someone's looking around saying, "Oh, this young guy has got an inflated idea of what he's worth."
It can. If his ego is getting out of hand in the dressing room, look, nobody knows what's going on within the dressing room. As long as he's acting in the right manner within the dressing room, then it'll all be fine. I would imagine people like Gerrard are putting an arm around him and advising him in their way as well, in their manner.
And last one on this, because we know now he's playing up front today and Sturridge is on the bench. This seems very much from Brendan Rodgers. OK, you've had your say whether we like it or not. Over to you. Time to do. Here you go. Here's the number 9 shirt. Show us.
You either go two ways if you're Brendan Rodgers. You either remove him fully from the spotlight and you leave him at home at Liverpool, or you throw him straight in front of the camera's glare, and that's what he's decided to do. And yeah, you're a professional footballer. You're being paid by Liverpool Football Club. Go and show everybody just exactly how good you are, and that you need 120, 130 grand a week. Off you go, son. Go and do it.
Yeah, go and win Liverpool the trophy. They're still in the FA Cup as well. They've got that big game on Wednesday. Let us know your thoughts at talkSPORT Live on Twitter. We are a little under 35 minutes away from kickoff. Arsenal against Liverpool starts the weekend, and you are listening to Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT.
One planet, one game, one football. The all-new One Football app is available right now for iOS, Android and Windows phones. With all the latest football news, live scores, results, highlights and more from the Premier League, Champions League and hundreds of international competitions. Download the One Football app from your App Store today to follow all the Premier League matches with live text commentary and vote for your man of the match. One Football, the best app for football fans.
Noble tackle by Van Aanholt, but it still bounces in his path, and here's Sacco into the ground, into the bottom corner. It's a day of despair for Dick Advocaat.
This is Barclays Premier League Live. Exclusive global Premier League radio commentary and post-match analysis.
Back to Mata again. Mata! Oh! What a goal by Juan Mata! One of the best goals you are ever going to see.
Barclays Premier League Live. All the biggest games every Premier League weekend.
Fabregas delivers it into Willian. This is Remy! Oh, terrible error by Alan McGregor. It squirms underneath him. And less than a minute after being on the field, the Frenchman has given Chelsea the lead once again.
This is Barclays Premier League Live. Never miss a kick of the Barclays Premier League. All weekend, every weekend.
Gibson works it wide to the right. Coleman cuts it across. Kone's in there. Lennon! 2-1. Aaron Lennon with the goal for Everton.
Exclusively live Barclays Premier League action throughout the season. This is Barclays Premier League Live.
Goal! Zaha! On the verge of half-time. Wilfried Zaha has given Palace the lead. 2 goals in 5 minutes for the Eagles.
This is Barclays Premier League Live. Exclusive global Premier League radio commentary and post-match analysis.
Cazorla on this right-hand side. He swings it over. There's a free header and in. And it's Giroud. with a second goal in the game, and Arsenal have doubled our advantage.
Barclays Premier League Live. Exclusive worldwide coverage and full match commentary of the Barclays Premier League.
Real moment here in the match. Kane, 3 for Harry Kane. They are back in front again and so indebted to their New England striker.
talkSPORT live on TuneIn. This is Real Radio.
Back in the net!
Every Barclays Premier League match is live, including next Sunday's Manchester derby.
To Mata again. Mata! Oh! What a goal by Juan Mata!
Every kick, every goal from the home of football on TuneIn in association with talkSPORT.com, official global audio partner of the English Premier League.
Busy start to the weekend in the Barclays Premier League. Arsenal against Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium. Raheem Sterling starts. We expected that. But he starts up front for Liverpool today. He's the subject of our Twitter poll right now at talkSPORT Live on Twitter, and follow the instructions therein. Right, to the rest of the weekend, and 3 o'clock as usual, raft of matches, of which our featured game will be Manchester United against Aston Villa, of interest quite clearly at both ends of the table. Let's hear from the United manager Louis van Gaal, who says the Red Devils are very much still in the title race this season.
What I've seen the last 5 matches, I think so. But still, we have to wait and see if we can continue, because it's still a red race. Also, Tottenham and Liverpool are still in. But, of course, we have given them a blow. But we have to play against the first 3 still. So it can happen a lot.
Yeah, with that in mind, could you even win a title? Could you finish top?
Still, we can win the title, yeah. Mathematically, we can do that.
Yes, the form of the team has been considerably less stuttering, we should say, than Louis van Gaal. We all know what he was saying there. And Manchester United have won their last 4 matches in the Barclays Premier League. And I suppose, Matt Lawrence, one of the most interesting things about the top 5 at the moment is that the teams who are 3rd, 4th and 5th, Arsenal, Man United and Liverpool, seem to be on much better form than the teams in 1st and 2nd, Chelsea and Manchester City.
Yeah, that's very true. He was being slightly sceptical about whether they could win the league, and rightly so. I don't think there's any way Manchester United can win the league. I know they do go up against the likes of Chelsea and Man City. I don't envisage it. I don't think that Chelsea will drop anywhere near enough points to relinquish the title or their spot at the top of the league. I do, though, on the other hand, think that Manchester United can finish in 2nd place. I agree with you, Rich. They're on such good form. I think they're only 2 points behind Man City in 2nd place now. I don't see any reason why they can't finish as runners-up. And for Manchester United, that would be an absolutely wonderful season. When all season, pretty much, everybody has been talking about how badly they're playing and how Louis van Gaal hasn't been working at Old Trafford. He has been working. He's been working very, very hard. Yes, all the players haven't gelled all the time. It's taken quite a while, and probably longer than LVG would have wanted. But I honestly think they can finish runners-up, and that will be a magnificent season for Manchester United.
And the victory against Liverpool last time out was a big statement, wasn't it?
It was so important for Manchester United. It definitely killed off Liverpool's hopes of the title, of course, and it probably killed off Liverpool's hopes of reaching those Champions League places as well. It would be interesting to see, obviously, what happens with Liverpool and Arsenal, but I now think Liverpool are too far away from Manchester United to catch them. And
Juan Mata is a lovely player when he he looks a lovely player to me almost all the time, but clearly not everybody at the top level of football believes so.
It seems to be the people within football that aren't so sure. The likes of Mourinho and Louis van Gaal haven't been so sure. All supporters of whichever clubs know what a wonderful player Mata is, but it may be something that goes on in the dressing room or something that goes on the training ground. I don't know. But every time I see him play, I think what a majestic footballer he is, and he showed that against Liverpool.
Always seems like a nice bloke as well, doesn't he?
Exactly.
But anyway, seamlessly we'll move on to Chelsea's Jose Mourinho. Mata, I think, was twice Chelsea Player of the Year, wasn't he? But Mourinho's side are top of the table with a game in hand, and he says he doesn't care when they win the title, as long as they do.
We need to win 6 matches and draw 1, and every victory we have now is 1 victory less that we need, and is 1 less occasion for our opponents to reach us. So we have to go. I don't care if he's in the hotel or away or at home. I just want to win it. And in any occasion, I think in the Premier League, the clubs, they get the trophy in the last match at home, right? So our last match of the season is at home. So if we win the title, we get the trophy at our house. But I don't care. Even if somebody loses a trophy and we don't get the trophy, I'm happy with that. I just want to win it.
Yeah, you can understand that. There's no point making plans for victory celebrations on any given date right now. A little glance at Chelsea's remaining fixtures tells you actually 3 of their last 4 games are at home. Palace, Liverpool and Sunderland right at the end. They play Stoke later in the 5:30 game. Alex Crook and Darren Eadie will take you through that one a little later on Barclays Premier League Live. Chelsea perhaps have dipped a little in form, Matt Lawrence, we can maybe say that, and the exit from the Champions League obviously hit them pretty hard. But there's 2 different things saying that that's true. They're not going to throw the title away.
No, I think getting knocked out of the Champions League obviously puts their focus on the Premier League even stronger, even greater. Yes, they haven't been in great form. They're 6 points clear at the top of the league, and they've got a game in hand. And there are a couple of games they've got coming up, at home to Stoke, as you say, later on today, then away to QPR. That should be, it's not a guaranteed 6 points. Nothing is guaranteed in the Barclays Premier League. But they would definitely fancy to take 6 points there, and I would then envisage that their lead is even greater as well, and that's going into harder games, at home to Man United, away to Arsenal. But apart from those 2, I don't really see them slipping up, and there's not enough points, or there's not enough points for other teams to claw back then, because I think Chelsea are guaranteed of winning sort of 5 or 6 of their remaining 8 or 9 games.
Which would be enough to win the Championship pretty much for certain. Sunday's focus perhaps turns a little more towards the bottom of the table. At 1:30 UK time, it's Burnley against Tottenham. Let's hear from the Clarets boss, Sean Dyche, who says they do have what it takes to avoid relegation.
They wanted to be a lot higher up the table, of course. The challenge is quite evident that it's hard to do that. But I think at game 10, when we were written off by so many, then I think that's a marker in itself that we are in there with every chance of doing it. Now, of course, the challenge is not words, the challenge is to perform and get points on the table. There's 8 games left and we'll be playing hard in every one to get the points that we need to be in the Premier League. That's what it feels like. There's no slowing down with what our beliefs are, no slowing down in the training schedules. We'll be training equally as hard, if not harder on certain days, to be ready for the challenge.
Burnley are in the bottom 3 as they've been pretty much throughout. 25 points, a point behind Sunderland, who are just the right side of safety for the time being, but in far more turmoil it appears, than Burnley, who have been consistent throughout. And despite the fact they've had this horrendous block of really difficult games, the next of which is tomorrow against Spurs, and Arsenal follow that, in every game it feels, Matt, they've been very competitive.
Yeah, they've been there or thereabouts, haven't they? I fully agree, but they're not picking up the required number of points that they should be for their performances. After those 2 games that you mentioned, Tottenham and Arsenal, I think then the remaining games, they've got a real chance in every single one. Playing Everton, playing Leicester, West Ham, Hull, Stoke, Villa, and a lot of those teams are in and around them as well. I actually think their destiny really is in their own hands, and if they win those big 6-pointers, a big cliche, I know, those 6-pointers at the bottom of the league, I don't see any reason why they can't survive. Sean Dyche has worked absolute wonders there at Burnley on a real shoestring budget in terms of Premier League budgets.
Brief word on Spurs, who they play, 7th in the table, raft of young guys breaking into the England squad during the international break. And they've gone off our radar because they are 7th at the moment in the table, but their ambitions for the top 4 aren't done yet, are they?
No, they're not, and they're only a point behind Liverpool in 5th place. Again, I don't think that they will catch Manchester United or Arsenal in 3rd or 4th. I don't think they will get into those Champions League places, but I think they can definitely have a real good tilt at 5th place in Europa League spot. I've been very, very impressed with some of those young guys. Of course, Harry Kane, but also Ryan Mason as well, who I don't think gets enough credit for Tottenham.
First cap for England during the break for Mason. Sunderland against Newcastle is also tomorrow, the 4 o'clock kickoff in the UK, and it's a huge derby in the northeast, of course. Let's hear from the Newcastle boss, John Carver. It's his first derby as the man in charge.
Well, I think growing up as a Newcastle fan and from the area, it's the first fixture you look for on the fixture list every season. And as a kid I did that. But now as the manager, it's quite a proud moment because we all know it is one of the biggest games in the northeast, in my eyes, in the world. So it's something I'm looking forward to. We know our record recently is not very good. We have to break that situation, and I think we have enough in that dressing room to do that.
1 win in 7 for Newcastle at the moment. Famously, a pundit in the UK said the players had their flip-flops on, speaking about them being on their holidays already, effectively. They've got 35 points and they're 12th. You'd imagine they're safe, but it's a huge game, isn't it, against a Sunderland side that are also in trouble, with Dick Advocaat coming in at a very late stage in the season.
Yeah, in this game there's going to be no flip-flops being worn, that's for sure. There's going to be some metal toe caps being worn in this game. There's no way the fans of either side will let the teams relax in this one. This is a massive derby game, and it will be a real tense, real nervy affair, but it should be a fantastic game of football.
Can Newcastle still get dragged in?
No, I don't think so. I think they're too good. I think they've got too many points as well. 10 points above the relegation zone, I can't see it.
We are focusing on the top of the table first up today. 20 minutes away from kickoff. It's Arsenal against Liverpool to start the weekend, and this is talkSPORT's coverage of the Barclays Premier League live.
Still to come on Barclays Premier League live. Arsenal versus Liverpool from the Emirates Stadium.
Zola on this right-hand side, and he swings it over. There's a free header and in, and it's Giroud with a second goal of the game. Deep crossing towards Sturridge. Liverpool double their money, and Daniel Sturridge finally does get on the score sheet from Jordan Henderson's cross.
It's a game that we will want to get something from. So in terms of the objectives going into the game, it's no different to what it was before Manchester United. But of course we had a disappointing result of performance the last time we were out. So we really want to make sure we perform and give ourselves the chance to get a positive result.
Manchester United versus Aston Villa from Old Trafford.
Back to Mata again. Mata! Oh! What a goal by Juan Mata! And it comes from Bakuna from the far side towards Benteke! They just cannot stop the bleeding Sunderland. Christian Benteke powers in a header.
We say it every week. Every team can beat anyone in this division. That's the beauty of the Premier League. We just think we will be an upset, you know. We think we're capable of going there and upsetting them. We've got a lot of pace in our team on the counter-attack, so we're looking to exploit.
Chelsea versus Stoke City from Stamford Bridge.
Abramovich with a melon cross, and Diego Costa heads into the net for Chelsea.
Adam with a clever pass, which gives the right-back more chance to deliver, and there it is, what a goal! Fantastic finish from Victor Moses for the home team.
I said at the beginning when I got the job, I wanted us to be a team that consistently competed in the top half of the Premier League. We've been able to do that last year. We're doing it again this year. Hopefully we'll stay in the top 10, if not higher. And that's a good place to be when you're looking to move the club forward in coming season.
And then tomorrow, Burnley versus Tottenham Hotspur from Turf Moor.
Company wins it back to Boyd! Oh, what a goal! George Boyd fizzes it in for Burnley and sends Turf Moor wild.
Kyle Walker inside the area. The cutback comes to Kane. It's 2. Harry Kane is just too hot to handle.
I think that we need to win the next game. And after go step by step, we have 8 games ahead. It's important still fight and try to get the 3 points Sunday.
Sunderland versus Newcastle from the Stadium of Light.
Can he get a ball into the middle? Oh yes he can, and it's a goal! It's a goal! Jan Rodwell has levelled things up for Sunderland. Space across Yanmar, gets it over. Cisse! Papi Cisse on the mark again for Newcastle United.
We all know it is one of the biggest games in the North East, in my eyes, in the world. So it's something I'm looking forward to. We know our record recently is not very good. We have to break that situation, and I think we have enough in that dressing room to do that.
That's all still to come on Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT.
This is Barclays Premier League Live, watching at the Emirates today for Arsenal against Liverpool, the first game of the weekend as we build up to the closing stages of the race for the title and those Champions League places. It's a huge game, isn't it, for Liverpool, perhaps in particular, because if they were to lose it today, by the end of the weekend they could find themselves as much as 8 points away from the top 4. Quick reminder of the team news: Bellerin, Mertesacker and Ozil all come in for Arsenal today. Welbeck and Gabriel Paulista are on the bench, and there's no Callum Chambers. Liverpool, some really big changes for them, with Skrtel and Gerrard of course banned, Lallana injured, Toure starts, Lucas starts and Markovic starts, but perhaps most interestingly of all, Sterling is going to play up front with Sturridge on the bench for Liverpool today? At talkSPORT Live on Twitter for your thoughts on that in particular. Let's hear from the Gunners' boss, Arsene Wenger. He thinks that his team is still also able to mount a title challenge.
We have the aspiration to win the next game, and that's quite good enough. And after that, win the next one. Mathematically, what is mathematically possible, you have to try to achieve, but that doesn't depend only on us. What does depend on us in the final run is our performances and our results, so let's focus on that. After that, if everything goes fast, you never know, but we can only master our own performances, so let's focus on that and be realistic and continue to earn the right to win the games. That's what we want.
Cazorla on this right-hand side, and he swings it over, and there's a free header and in, and it's Giroud with a second goal of the game, and Arsenal have doubled their advantage.
It's a big game and an opportunity for us to continue our run. That's what we want to do. We are on a strong run, and we want just to focus to win our games, win the next one. Liverpool is a big opponent, but we play at the Emirates, and we want to do it. I'm just focused on the game and focused to produce the performance that we have produced recently and make sure that the right commitment is there to win the game.
That's Arsene Wenger, and his side will move above Manchester City and into second place in the Premier League if they are to win today. Man City play away at Crystal Palace on Monday night. And Arsenal, worth reminding everybody, Matt, they haven't finished in the top two in the Premier League for 10 years now. Yes, they've been ever-present in the Champions League, but you know, there's something to be said, isn't there, for being right up there in the very top echelon?
Yeah, that's quite an amazing statistic. It almost feels as though there isn't any space between second, third and fourth. It almost feels like it's the same thing. But I agree. I think finish runners-up in the Barclays Premier League is a real must for Arsene Wenger and for Arsenal Football Club. It's almost all too easy for Arsenal. What a wonderful club they are to finish in third or fourth. They need to have a real tilt at that title, don't they? And it needs to be this season as well, I feel.
6 consecutive victories in the Premier League, albeit perhaps against sides that they would expect to beat, and that in amongst the disappointment in the Champions League. Where do you see exactly as their form at the moment? Some of these games, they haven't put the teams away in the manner that perhaps they would hope to, and yet they've scored a lot of goals in the process.
Yeah, I think they've been a lot more solid recently, and I think Coquelin coming into that side, I think he was recalled from Charlton, and I think his first game for Arsenal this season was something like December the 28th, I think I have it written down here. And with that, he's just given that added protection to the back four and that added bit of steel which Arsenal have desperately been looking for, even since the times of Vieira and Petit. I know everybody goes back to them and says that, but Arsenal have needed that. Wenger's never really brought it into the club. Coquelin was, of course, part of that side in 2011 that got absolutely battered 8-2 up at Old Trafford, and everybody said how out of his depth he was. I think even Sir Alex Ferguson came out and said he was completely out of his depth. Then he was a young man, a real young man. I think he was 18 or 19 at the time. He's matured, he's gone out on loan. He obviously played quite a number of games for Charlton in the second tier, in the Championship this season, and he's come back and he looks a real player. And I like that steel he adds to the Arsenal midfield, and I think he has helped them go on this run of games that they've been on really since then, since the end of December.
And Olivier Giroud, for all the fact that he had his worst game in arguably the most important at home to Monaco in the Champions League when it went against Arsenal, he's got 9 goals in his last 9 Arsenal games. I mean, do you believe he's real top class?
Yeah, I do. I really like him. I like him first and foremost as a goal scorer, but I also like his all-round play as well. I think he holds the ball up very well. He brings the other Arsenal players into attack awfully well as well. He just gives the likes of Cazorla, Sanchez and Ozil that added little couple of seconds extra to get up there and to gel and to join in with him. I really like him. I know he had that terrible game, certainly in terms of he wasn't putting the goals away, but even when he was having that nightmare game in the Champions League, he was still there. He was still in and around the goal, and he was still creating chances. He just couldn't take them.
And up against the Liverpool side today without their best defender in Martin Skrtel. Let's hear from the Reds boss, Brendan Rodgers, who wants desperately a return to winning ways after that loss to Manchester United at Anfield last time out.
We go to there really looking forward to the game, really motivated to get back to winning again. We've had a long 2 weeks. It's probably one of the few games where after the international break we've had to suffer a little bit. because we didn't perform and we lost. But there's extra motivation there to get something from the game, and that's something that we clearly want to achieve.
Here come Liverpool. Coutinho into Sturridge! Liverpool are back in this game. A brilliant breakaway from Liverpool. Coutinho slips to Sturridge, and Sturridge bangs home.
We need to keep the ball better. We need to be technically better. And that's a huge part of our game. But like you said, it is Arsenal's game. But for us, we'll go there tactically, very clear on the idea of the game. And like you say, we need to get something from the game. That's clear. But that was the same before we played the Manchester United game. Arsenal was a game that we wanted to ensure that we got at least a point from. And that'll be the case at the weekend.
Yeah, at least a point, says Brendan Rodgers. If they were to lose to Arsenal today and Manchester United were to win a little later as well, then the gap to the top four would instantly be 7 points for 8 points for 7 points, because Man City will play on Monday, but it was 7 points. That's a huge gap with so few games remaining.
Yeah, I'll take it one step further. I feel this is a must-win game for Liverpool. It's a must-not-lose game for Arsenal, but definitely Liverpool have to win this game to stand any chance of qualifying for the Champions League. I really do believe that. And Liverpool's form away against Arsenal is absolutely terrible as well. They need to turn that form around, and as I say, they need to do that today. Honestly, they have to win this game.
In terms of their away form more recently, they've accumulated 6 consecutive away clean sheets, and this back three, it's worked in terms of positive results, but I mean it's been a really effective device in keeping teams out, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been. I'm very, very surprised at that as well. It has been. It's been 6 clean sheets away from home. I think it's just over 9 hours of football. I think that's a record for Liverpool. I honestly think that Arsenal can exploit those gaps down the side of the 3 centre halves. I'm always very, very dubious of those large holes they leave. Markovic and Moreno will always push on. Markovic has no defensive responsibilities or no defensive know-how anyway, and I think the likes of Ozil down the left-hand side, Sanchez down that right-hand side can drag Sacco at left centre-half and Chan at right centre-half out of those positions, and they're really not comfortable defending almost as full-backs. I think that's a real position that Liverpool need to look at. I think that's dangerous, but saying that, they've made it work very, very well at the moment, but just sometimes against the bigger sides I feel it doesn't work, as in Manchester United.
How much of a loss is Martin Skrtel, replaced by Kolo Touré today?
Massive, an absolute huge loss. He's their best defender just in terms of purely being a defender, and also he's a leader. He's a leader on the pitch and in the dressing room. He pulls the other two centre halves in and around him. He also talks constantly to the likes of Allen and Henderson in front of him. Yeah, I think it's a massive, massive loss. I don't feel that either Sacco or Chan talk anywhere near as much. Touré's obviously very, very experienced, but he'll be feeling his way into the game himself, and he won't be as worried about telling everybody else what's going on around him.
Skrtel's also been a big goal scorer for Liverpool in this fixture, hasn't he? With 3 goals, I think, in the last 2 matches against Arsenal. So they'll miss his threat from set pieces in a forward sense too.
100% in the reverse fixture. He scored the equaliser, didn't he, to make it 2-2 back at Anfield. I agree with that wholeheartedly. He's just a big miss all over the field, and massively in the dressing room as well.
And it was something daft that he did to get the ban in the last minute of the game against Manchester United, and we had Steven Gerrard, another fellow senior pro at Liverpool, getting himself sent off in that game also. I mean, these are key suspensions for Liverpool at an important time of the season.
It happened last year, didn't it, with Henderson getting suspended at a key time. It just seems to happen at Liverpool far too much, and it's, as you said, 2 very, very experienced players just losing their head. Absolutely needless suspensions, and they're huge losses. And both of them, I feel, more in the dressing room almost than actually on the pitch.
Right, last question then before we go to the break prior to kick-off is on Raheem Sterling playing up front for Liverpool today after the week where he's been completely in the glare of publicity, explaining his reasons for turning down a much improved contract. Gets the chance to play at number 9 today. Are his skills suited to this position?
No, I don't think they are. I think he's much, much better when he's facing goal. This afternoon he's going to have his back to goal an awful lot, and he's not that type of footballer. He much prefers to have to have turned, to be going at the goal and to be going at defenders. I don't feel this suits his game. but Brendan Rodgers has put him out there. Sturridge, I don't feel, can be fit enough, otherwise Sturridge would surely have played. It's just how deep Sterling can drop and get on that half turn, get the ball into his feet and go at the likes of Mertesacker. He's got to be picking out Mertesacker and really attacking him.
Lots of good angles to this game, aren't there, today?
Very much.
We are looking forward to it hugely. We hope you are too. Do get in touch on Twitter at talkSPORT Live throughout the game, and we'll bring you the results of our poll on whether you think Raheem Sterling should stay at Anfield beyond the summer or not very shortly, and we'll find out how he's going to get on playing as a centre-forward today. But this match, let's make no bones about it, is absolutely pivotal for Liverpool if they're going to retain a hope of getting into the top four in the Barclays Premier League this season. We are 5 minutes away from kickoff. The teams are in the tunnel. You are listening to Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT.
One planet, one game, one football. The all-new One Football app is available right now for iOS, Android and Windows phones. With all the latest football news, live scores, results, highlights and more from the Premier League, Champions League and hundreds of international competitions. Download the One Football app from your app store today to follow all the Premier League matches with live text commentary and vote for your man of the match. One Football, the best app for football fans.
Noble tackle by Van Aanholt, but he still bounces in his path, and here's Sacco into the ground, into the bottom corner. It's a day of despair for Dick Advocaat.
This is Barclays Premier League Live. Exclusive global Premier League radio commentary and post-match analysis.
Back to Mata again. Mata! Oh! What a goal by Juan Mata! One of the best goals you are ever going to see.
Barclays Premier League Live. All the biggest games every Premier League weekend.
Fabregas delivers it into William. This is Remy! Oh, terrible error by Alan McGregor. It squirms underneath him. And less than a minute after being on the field, the Frenchman has given Chelsea the lead once again.
This is Barclays Premier League Live. Never miss a kick of the Barclays Premier League. All weekend, every weekend.
Gibson works it wide to the right. Coleman cuts it across. Kone's in there. Lennon! 2-1. Aaron Lennon with the goal for Everton.
Exclusively live Barclays Premier League action throughout the season. This is Barclays Premier League Live.
Goal! Zaha! On the verge of half-time. Wilfried Zaha has given Palace the lead. 2 goals in 5 minutes for the Eagles.
This is Barclays Premier League Live. Exclusive global Premier League radio commentary and post-match analysis.
Cazorla on this right-hand side, and he swings it over. There's a free header and in, and it's Giroud with a second goal of the game, and Arsenal have doubled our advantage.
Barclays Premier League Live. Exclusive worldwide coverage and full match commentary of the Barclays Premier League.
Real moment here in the match. Kane! 3 for Harry Kane. They are back in front again and so indebted to their New England striker.
Talk Sport live on TuneIn. This is Real Radio.
Back in the net!
Every Barclays Premier League match is live, including next Sunday's Manchester derby.
Back to Mata again. Mata! Oh! What a goal by Juan Mata!
Every kick, every goal from the home of football on TuneIn in association with talkSPORT.com, official global audio partner of the English Premier League.
A very warm welcome to our coverage of Arsenal against Liverpool from the Emirates Stadium. I'm your host, Richard Connolly, and alongside me, the former Crystal Palace, Millwall and Fulham defender, Matt Lawrence. And you are listening to Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT. Here's a rundown of the two sides as the players just prepare for kickoff. The captains have shaken hands with referee Anthony Taylor. Arsenal's goalkeeper is Ospina. The back four is Bellerin, Mertesacker, Koscielny and Monreal. Coquelin, Cazorla, Ramsey, Sanchez, Ozil and Olivier Giroud. Liverpool, Mignolet in goal. The back three is Chan, Toure and Sacco, Skirtle band, remember. Then 5 perhaps in midfield. Markovic and Moreno will be in the wing-back positions. Allen, Lucas and Henderson in the centre, with Coutinho and Raheem Sterling up front. The Emirates Stadium preparing itself for a key game in the race for the top four and possibly, in Arsenal's case, maybe even for the title. 60,000 jammed in. Referee Anthony Taylor blows the whistle and we are underway. Arsenal in the red and white, Liverpool all in black today. This is the start of the run-in for the Premier League crown. Arsenal against Liverpool, Matt Lawrence, a terrific way to start it.
Oh yes, it really is. And Arsenal are already on the attack here.
They are moving the ball to Sanchez, who shoots wide of goal from the edge of the D. Liverpool giving it away in front of their own penalty box, and immediately Alexis Sanchez with the first effort on goal.
Yeah, this is the thing with Liverpool. They sometimes start a little bit like that, a little bit too easy. They're giving the ball away in their own defensive third of the pitch. It was Joe Allen that time who gave the ball away, and it was a decent effort from Sanchez, just skewed it a little bit wider goal. I often like to think that Liverpool will get the ball forward slightly earlier in these open few minutes. So often they give the ball away very, very early on. Arsenal know that as well, and they've pressed them very, very high from the opening whistle.
You've had the starting lineups, you've had the first chance of the game in Arsenal against Liverpool. It is 0-0 in the very early stages as Giroud tries to pile his way down the left-hand side for Arsenal, but can't get into the penalty area. And you are listening to Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT. And Arsenal throw in an advanced position. Over on that far side, their left. They are attacking the goal to our right as we look down. Liverpool playing from right to left. 0-0 then, 90 seconds on the watch. Arsene Wenger in smart, dark blazer, but choosing as we speak to put the famous sports coat over the top. So windy and chilly it has been in the UK over the last week or so. Still a bit of a wintry feel around, and something of a blustery wind inside the Emirates. Arsenal have camped inside the Liverpool half since kickoff. Here's Sanchez from the left wing for Arsenal. A clever ball back into the centre for Bellerin here. He must think about a shot, but then plays a low pass wide to this near side for Ramsey. Back into the feet of Ozil. Ozil to Ramsey once again. So many of these players, of course, have been away on international duty, but a couple of them out there have stayed at home on international duty because Sanchez and the Brazil players have been. Coutinho for Liverpool have played a friendly at the Emirates, Chile against Brazil. Here is Sanchez on the ball now, collecting it on the chest and juggling with it. It's moved by Coquelin out to the far side for Monreal. Little ball back infield to Ozil, but Liverpool are very tight to their Arsenal counterparts at the moment. Here's Ozil now just flicking the ball infield to Ramsey, but Coutinho was in there with the challenge. They bounce back to Arsenal and they've retained possession once again. Bellerin now on the near side, the right, up against Moreno. Not much in the way of support. Ramsey tried to get there. The pass from Bellerin was misplaced, and then it's won back by Coquelin for Arsenal as Liverpool tried to pass it out. Here's Sanchez in towards Ozil. His dummy. It's come for Cazorla. He shoots, and it's a good save. Low down by Mignolet to his right-hand side.
Exactly what I was talking about earlier, Richard. Liverpool are masters of their own downfall almost. This time Lucas Leiva on the edge of his own box giving the ball away to Coquelin. It's a great shot with his right foot from Cazorla. Very, very wide angle, but a very hard, low shot to the right-hand side of Mignolet's goal. It's a good, firm save from Mignolet. Good, strong wrists as well, and gathered the ball. This is what I don't like about Liverpool in the opening few minutes. I think they need to get the ball forward, up to the likes of Sterling, a whole lot quicker, because they are giving the ball away in really dangerous areas. That's a couple of times now in the opening 4 minutes.
Was a point in this season when Simon Mignolet had been dropped indefinitely by Brendan Rodgers. That was the time when Liverpool, I suppose, were going through something of a crisis, but Brendan Rodgers turned it round. Mignolet's turned his season round.
I think that it shows psychologically Mignolet's a pretty strong player out there, because that would have maybe not ruined players' careers, but it would have taken them an awful lot to come back better and stronger. Mignolet has done exactly that, and we've seen it in the last few games for Liverpool. He's done very, very well. We've always known he's a good shot stopper.
Touré's in trouble here. He's been caught, and a chance for Arsenal. Ramsey's in. It's a brilliant save, and it's cleared by Touré. Mignolet again. Touré was at fault initially. He was caught in possession. Ramsey went for the low shot, and Mignolet just snuck out of palm to deny him.
Absolutely woeful from Liverpool once again. Third time in 5 minutes that they've given the ball away. This time Touré dispossessed on the edge of the on the edge of his area. He has Mignolet to thank for that. Another wonderful save from Mignolet.
You could see it coming. Toure was so hesitant in possession. Here's Cazorla with the corner. In it goes towards the back post. The flick header away was by Sacco for Liverpool. Markovic has then lost it on the far side. Coquelin took it from him, not the first time. Ramsey now dinks on the pass to Sanchez, left-hand side of the penalty area. It's a blistering start by Arsenal. They're appealing for handball now as the cross comes in, but it's deflected behind for the corner.
Yeah, I don't think that one can be given as a handball by referee Anthony Taylor. Sanchez has fizzed it. I think it was at Henderson from about 2 yards away. Henderson's arms are down by his side, and I really don't... I did clip his hand, but I don't think that can be a penalty.
In comes another Arsenal corner, headed out by Coutinho, taken by Coquelin on the edge of the box again. He's still trying to battle his way through a forest of legs. Ozil helps him out. Here's Cazorla for Arsenal. Back to Ozil, first time on, and cleared by Chan for Liverpool. Straight back to Coquelin. He's everywhere. In comes the cross from Coquelin. Moreno heads out for Liverpool. Sterling collects. First time he's been on the ball, and he's at least won Liverpool to throw in on this near side.
Yeah, and how deep has he had to drop to get that first touch of the ball? I think he's dropped to about 30 yards away from Mignolet to pick up the ball. As we see the replay again, actually Henderson's hand is slightly in the air there. Would have been very, very harsh on him. But how bad have Liverpool been in these opening few minutes? 3 times they've given the ball away. Arsenal very unlucky not to have scored. Mignolet's pulled off 2 very, very good saves.
Ramsey went for the side foot finish, didn't he, on the left foot? Could he have put a little more power on it?
I think so. I think he could have put his laces through the ball there and had a real proper shot at goal. As you say, it's a side foot, more trying to pass it into the corner of the net. Didn't hit it as well as he should. It's a good save from Mignolet, but nothing more than that.
Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. Arsenal right on top from the word go, literally from the first 15-20 seconds at the Emirates here, catching Liverpool in possession, pressing them hard, winning the ball back high up the pitch, penning Liverpool in. Difficult start for Liverpool. Without Martin Skrtel, it's proving that Toure's position is not just about defending, it's about what you do with the ball as they play out. And Liverpool have looked a little bit off in that regard. Here's Markovic for them now. A distinctive figure with the long black hair, and he's won a free kick for the challenge by Giroud, who's not particularly impressed. But it's a Liverpool free kick, and frankly, they will be glad of that.
Yes, they will. They have a breather. They must be absolutely shattered in this opening 7 minutes. They have just been chasing Arsenal players and chasing the ball all around the pitch. Really poor start from Liverpool, but so dominant from Arsenal.
And now they've robbed Sacco, and there's an offside flag because two Arsenal players, Giroud and Ramsey, robbed Sacco. And as the ball deflected from one to the other, the flag went up instantly. But once again, Liverpool were caught.
And that was very, very close. I think it was just a few inches offside there for Giroud. But it is tight, and Liverpool are playing themselves into trouble time and time again. Arsenal know this as well. They know that the likes of Sacco and Toure aren't that comfortable on the ball, and they are pressuring them so high up the pitch.
And now they've won it again. Coquelin through to Cazorla. Cazorla to Ramsey on the right-hand side. Ramsey lays it back to Bellerin. Dancing feet by Bellerin. He's into the penalty box. Crosses towards Giroud. Still might come for Sanchez. Chan uses his body well and runs the ball out to the right-hand side and will now bring it clear for Liverpool. But Arsenal were threatening once again. Still 0-0 in the 9th minute at the Emirates Stadium, but Arsenal are all over Liverpool at the moment. Cazorla in the central area of the field flicks the ball out to this near side, overplayed the pass. Liverpool will get the throw in.
Yeah, I think possession's at about 98% at the moment for Arsenal, isn't it? They are so dominant.
Liverpool have taken the throw in though, and they're trying to feed Sterling down this near side, and Sterling was offside. Whistle had gone before the sliding tackle came in on him from Coquelin, but Sterling is not. That's the first time he's been on the ball at all in the Arsenal half, and actually Koscielny in the centre stepped out very swiftly there to play Sterling offside.
Yeah, that's Arsenal of old, isn't it? That's Bolden Adams almost there. It was a really good line from the Arsenal defence. They have worked very well as of late. Arsenal been defensively very sound, as we mentioned just before the game as well, with Coquelin just sitting in front of them, really patrolling that area.
Speaking to Chris Perry on this very programme earlier in the season, he was talking about how much he admires Koscielny, not the hugest in terms of height or physical stature, but He's a very good reader of the game, and he won a tackle there on the halfway. He's left Sterling down, and Sterling looks really hurt. Sterling grabbing his right foot. Here's Henderson for Liverpool, though, with a low cross towards Markovic. It was blocked by Monreal for a Liverpool corner, and now Sterling, I think, will get some treatment as referee Anthony Taylor has blown his whistle to see for that, and he's actually having a conversation with Laurent Koscielny. He didn't give the free kick at the time, but now it perhaps seems as if Anthony Taylor was playing the advantage.
I think he was playing the advantage. I think he said no more to Koscielny there.
In comes the corner, and Coquelin heads it away, and Ozil controls on the edge of his own penalty area, and Cazorla swiftly spots Sanchez running into space on this near side. Sanchez is going for another diagonal ball, and he's tried to hit Ozil, and Ozil couldn't control it, and it's out for a throw-in. But there are a couple of Hollywood balls there from Arsenal. Yeah,
that was a magnificent crossfield ball from Sanchez, fully 50-60 yards. Ozil tried to take it just with the outside of his left foot, but it just skipped up off the turf and went past him for a Liverpool throw.
It's a really interesting start to this game, isn't it, at the Emirates Stadium, with Arsenal really showing their desire to put Liverpool under pressure. And there's Touré giving the ball away again. Coquelin was in the right place once more. Now Ozil crosses for Arsenal. It's coming through to Ramsey, tried to nod it back to Cazorla. Coutinho is right back on the edge of his own box to win it back for Liverpool. And he's tried to find Sterling, and Sterling has shrugged off Mertesacker. And Mertesacker has won the ball second time around. I thought Mertesacker manhandled Sterling there to win that ball.
He certainly did. He had his arms around the waist of Raheem Sterling, did Per Mertesacker there. I think that was a definite free kick. Anthony Taylor, I think, was just on the blind side, but couldn't quite spot it. And the linesman was over the far side of the pitch as well, so Mertesacker's definitely got away with one there.
Yeah, Sterling's close control was pretty good, wasn't it, on the halfway line? And Mertesacker fortunate, but now it's Liverpool possession again, just on the edge of their own penalty area, and this has been the troublesome area for them. Touré to his right to Chan forward to Lucas. Lucas doesn't control it instantly. The tackle from Ozil was not particularly strong, but he still gave the ball away. Ozil forward to Giroud, tried to lay it back off to Ozil, thumped clear by Allen for Liverpool towards Markovic. Koscielny was in and caught by Markovic. Free kick Arsenal.
That's the reading of the game that you were talking about, Richard, there. Koscielny covered very, very well in behind Monreal, then just nicked the ball in front of Markovic. Markovic followed through. That was a definite foul on Koscielny. But Liverpool really are masters of their own downfall at the moment. They're just giving the ball away all over the place at the moment. Predominantly it's Sacco and Touré as well, two of the three centre halves for Liverpool.
Now Liverpool are playing the ball through. Sterling is flagged offside, one of those where the flag takes a while to come because Sterling took a while to reach the ball, but we did kind of expect that it was going to come from assistant referee Mark Perry. As we see the replay, Sterling was onside. Koscielny stepped up there in a similar way, and well, that was a tough call to make, but Sterling was onside.
He was definitely onside. It's really hard for the linesman to look across the line and tell when the player's clipping the ball through as well, but that was definitely onside that time. Koscielny stepped up far too, a little bit too late.
Koscielny now finds Ramsey, who hooks the ball high into the Liverpool penalty box. Giroud making a nuisance of himself. Comes to Ozil outside the penalty area. Now headed clear by Henderson. And Henderson now goes in pursuit of a Liverpool clearance, but Coquelin is there once again to tidy up for Arsenal. He has started this game terrifically, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he covers the ground as well. He doesn't so much run forward and backwards, but he goes side to side very well, just covering in front of Koscielny and Mertesacker. He must have picked up 3 or 4 loose balls already, or through balls intended for Sterling. He watches the game and reads the game very, very well, Coquelin.
Lovely little flick there from Giroud, and he's onto the return ball here from Giroud into the penalty box. He was blocked by Touré at a key moment. An initial flick round the corner, and then he ran on for the return ball, the Frenchman.
Yeah, Arsene Wenger's got to be absolutely ecstatic with the way that Arsenal have opened up this game in the first quarter of an hour. They've been nothing short of fantastic. Haven't quite hit the back of the net yet, but they're playing very, very well.
Sanchez looking for a 1-2 there with Monreal, but I think he just run into an offside position, the Chilean. A poll on Twitter from earlier on was Raheem Sterling related, bearing in mind he's starting up front for Liverpool today. Should he stay at Anfield in the summer? Retweet for yes, favourite for no. The retweets are winning for the time being, indicating you think he ought to stay, perhaps sign an extended contract. At talkSPORT Live on Twitter if you want to add your thoughts to that particular mix. It remains 0-0 officially. Arsenal have had 2/3 of the ball. It feels like a little more than that. Here's Sanchez running down the left-hand side and playing a high cross into the box. Sacco doesn't time the header clear. Cazorla is going to get to the loose ball before Moreno. Now it's Ramsey on the right corner of the box going away from goal. Little step overs, collects the ball, finds Coquelin. Coquelin taking charge of things, indicating where he wants the runners to go. Little reverse ball by Ozil, dropped the shoulder. Sanchez forward to Giroud. Giroud's laid it off to Cazorla. Now to the right-hand side to Ramsey. Bellerin's on the overlap. The cross came in from Ramsey. Out by Liverpool. Coutinho tried to dribble, lost his way. It's an Arsenal ball again. 15 minutes gone, 0-0. Mertesacker slides it out to the right-hand side for Bellerin. Little stop and go from Bellerin, but he shoves over Moreno. That's a Liverpool free kick. And it remains goalless, but Arsenal having much the better of it. Just past the top of the hour then, 0-0. You're listening to Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT. And Brendan Rodgers making notes on the touchline. Well, he's only got that tiny notebook. Frankly, he needs an A4 pad at the moment.
He definitely needs a bigger piece of paper.
Yeah, there's lots for Brendan Rodgers to try and correct, one would imagine. Is Skrtel that much better on the ball than Toure? Is that one of the problems, or is it just a certain hesitancy that Toure, having come back into the side, is bringing? We'll come back to it. Here's Sterling trying to run through the centre. It was nearly found by Coutinho, but challenge came in the nick of time. And here's Coutinho now from the Liverpool throw-in, brushed off the ball by Ramsey, then the pass intercepted by Lucas for Liverpool, trying to set up camp in the Arsenal half here. That might do them some good. Toure indecisive, turns back towards his own goal, gave Ramsey a chance, but plays the back pass safely enough to Mignolet. Now out it goes to the right-hand side for Chan, who advances over halfway. Chan in between players. Chan still going towards the edge of the box. Henderson, little crossfield pass to Coutinho. Loads of space near side for Moreno. Didn't play it to him. Now Moreno gets it from the ricochet. Moreno lays it back to Allen. Allen looks up. Now Coutinho surrounded by Arsenal players. He's managed to sneak it through to Sterling. Sterling tries to cross, back to Sterling's feet. Little Cruyff turn, and the cross beyond the goalkeeper, beyond everybody. It's going to come to Lucas again. Liverpool attacking here. Koscielny's header away, and Cazorla further clear. It's come back to Sacco. All of a sudden, Liverpool really threatening, and why Coutinho didn't play in Moreno, I don't know, Matt.
I think he saw him as well. Normally you'd say, I don't think he could have spotted him, but he definitely had his head up, Coutinho. He must have seen Moreno. Moreno was in acres of space to his left-hand side. All he needs to do, simply roll him in, and Moreno has a free shot on goal. Can't believe that from Coutinho. Held on to the ball for far too long.
Trying to use Moreno as a decoy, but he was in too much space. Here's Henderson now for Liverpool, trying to play a diagonal ball. They're just stretching the Arsenal backline at the moment. Here is Moreno on the left-hand side. Little ball back into Coutinho. It came to him rather fortuitously, and it almost bounced back to him a second time. Lifted in by Sterling. Koscielny with the header. It's come back to the feet of Sterling. Koscielny just dinks it away, and dinks it away for a Liverpool throw-in on this near side. A little bit anxious then from Arsenal at the back.
It certainly was. Mertesacker and Bellerin looked a little nervous there. It's the first time that Liverpool have had any sustained pressure, any sustained possession of the football. We're nearly 20 minutes in, but it has been a good passage of play. Just a poor decision-making from Coutinho at the death, really, in their last move.
After Arsenal had the best of it for the first 13-14 minutes. Here's Markovic for Liverpool again, and now here's Sterling, edge of the penalty area, away from Mertesacker, away from Koscielny. A third defender, Monreal, came in to block the shot, but Sterling just found little space in the penalty box, and his feet are so much quicker than Mertesacker. If they can get him into that kind of position, they might hit pay dirt.
And I think he knows he's got a point to prove as well, Sterling, doesn't he?
It's Coutinho between the lines. He's fed Markovic. Markovic is in. He squares in and misses Sterling with the pass. A simple pass in front of Sterling. That had to be 1-0 Liverpool. And Markovic missed his man. It was 2 against the goalkeeper.
We said previously poor decision-making from Coutinho. This time it's Markovic. He's either got to roll the ball into the goal or just roll the ball left. It's just in front of Sterling, and Sterling taps the ball into an empty net from 6 yards out. He's overhit it massively, Markovic. We see Brendan Rodgers just down in front of us on the bench, kicking out at something. That was such a great chance, best chance of the game, without a shadow of doubt there to Liverpool and to Markovic and Sterling.
Well, Liverpool have come to life with a vengeance in the last few minutes, and one of those where Coutinho's pass had completely cut the Arsenal back line open, and Markovic was trying to be unselfish but just got it hopelessly wrong. Now Ozil at the other end is going to win a throw for Arsenal right by the corner flag, far side the right. And far side the right as we look, the Arsenal left. And now here's Sanchez. Sanchez lifts in the cross high beyond Ramsey. Ramsey will collect it beyond Moreno and tries to beat him immediately, but Moreno was waiting for it and clears with a left foot to Coutinho on the edge of his own box still. Calm in possession, finds Moreno again. Down the line it goes towards Sterling, and he has won the throw from Mertesacker. Well, what a first 20 minutes we've had here, Matt.
Yeah, and Liverpool have done very well coming back into the game these last few minutes under intense pressure in the opening quarter of an hour. But they've done a whole lot better, and they've opened Arsenal up on more than one occasion. As we're just watching a replay on our monitors of that Markovic pass, it was a simple 10-yard slide rule pass. He's just got to roll it in front of Sterling's feet, but he rolls it 2 yards ahead of him. Sterling had a slide, attempted to reach it, but it's that far in front of him, couldn't even get a toe on it.
Now Arsenal looking to try and split the Liverpool defence with a pass that Chan gets onto. Back to Mignolet it goes, and then Touré and Chan work the triangle and get it away. Chan looks for a long ball downfield for Liverpool. The header by Coquelin goes straight to Markovic, and all of a sudden Coquelin's made an error, a rare error so far. Moreno picks it up on the left for Liverpool. Now squares it to Coutinho. Coutinho's going to shoot, and Ospina dived, but it went wide of his right-hand post without a touch from the goalkeeper.
Could see what he was trying to do there, Coutinho. 22 yards out, just tried to give Ospina the eyes and whip it back the other way. Ospina got down well to his right, would have had it covered, but that's half a yard wide of the right-hand side of Ospina's goal.
Hello to Damon Appleby, who's been in touch on Twitter at talkSPORT Live, cheering on the Gunners from sunny Thailand. Says it's 28 degrees at 7 in the evening and apologises for the fact, Damon, as you should. It's considerably colder here, as we've let you know. And hi to Mike as well, who's up early in St Louis and listening to Arsenal-Liverpool while prepping for a match between the US women's national team and New Zealand later on today. Hi to you, Mike. Here's Alexis Sanchez trying to get through Henderson but not finding any joy, and Liverpool trying to clear down their right-hand side. But with help from Giroud, Coquelin's got it back for Arsenal once again. Coming to the end of the first quarter of this game effectively, and it's still 0-0. And Sanchez and Ozil can't quite work a little 1-2. And there's a Liverpool throw-in in the right-back position, and everybody around seems to take a little breath as the ball goes out of play. It's been very busy.
Yeah, rightly so. I think everybody's deserving of that intake of breath there. It has been a very, very lively opening 22 minutes. It's been a great game and has the makings of a great game here as well.
Coutinho trying to nod a ball over the top for Sterling. They are aware that he's got the Arsenal defence for pace if they can release him, but Arsenal have played this nicely to Cazorla, and Cazorla has found Ramsey out on the right-hand side. A low cross was intercepted comfortably by Mamadou Sakho, and Joe Allen brings it away. Coutinho is actually coming into this game a lot for Liverpool, and is challenged there by Mertesacker on halfway. A good tackle, a clean tackle by the much bigger German. Here is Mesut Ozil inside Liverpool territory with Bellerin and with Coquelin for company. Bright yellow orange boots from Coquelin, shining like the sun that we can't see. And here is Koscielny forward for Arsenal. He's found Ozil in space. Giroud making the run in front of him. Cazorla trying to dribble his way through, ran straight into Emre Can, who was strong enough to see him off, and then good enough to bring the ball into midfield. Here is Sterling on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Coutinho is up with him, his partner in crime. On goes Sterling, couldn't get beyond Coquelin, just stood his ground and intercepted. And now it's Arsenal ball. They're not sure how quickly to go at Liverpool, because they're a little wary of Liverpool's counter-attack speed, it seems to me.
Yeah, that's very much so. I'd like to just go back to Emre Can as well. I think it's been an absolute revelation at right centre-half for Liverpool.
Arsenal have given it away. The adventurous right-back for Arsenal, the young man, just 20 years of age. Plays it back to Koscielny in the centre circle. Forward to Ozil. Ozil so languid, but so deceiving, really. Here's Ramsey down the right-hand side. Ramsey's cross was a good one. Toure had to just flick it away to the far side rather than clear more directly. Henderson boots it up into the air. Lucas misjudges the initial header and then controls the ball with his head and finds Henderson again. And then sliding back, there's Coquelin again, stopping the pass into Markovic.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's there for, and he does do it very, very well. Done it continuously in his opening 26 minutes. Cut out a number of balls, retained possession, or regained possession, should I say, for Arsenal.
Arsenal want to throw on this near side. Ramsey's not going to get it. Goes Liverpool's way instead. So 26 minutes, as Matt says, on the watch. 0-0. This is Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT. And we've got an injury here to Mamadou Sakho, who seems to have got a kick to maybe the Achilles tendon on his left side, and he's rolling around in front of the referee down there. Let's look at this replay. How has Sakho managed to get injured here? Is there any contact from Ramsey? Doesn't appear to be, Matt. What's your reading of that?
No, it's just maybe he's just rolled his ankle slightly. It did look as though he's feeling his Achilles more than his ankle. But yeah, it wasn't a contact injury of any kind. I'm sure we'll be able to run that one off. It didn't look too bad.
Sterling trying to roll Mertesacker on this near side from the Liverpool throw as play restarts, but Arsenal are able to boot the ball clear into touch. Sakho is looking in some discomfort. Might be a good time to run you through the subs on both sides, actually. Now, for Liverpool, the goalkeeper is Jones. We've mentioned Sturridge is on the bench. Also, Glenn Johnson, Dejan Lovren, on whom the cameras are focusing right now, Javi Manquillo, Fabio Borini, and an 18-year-old by the name of Cameron Brannigan, who has never played for the first team before, but a midfield player. For Arsenal, their goalkeeper today is Matt Macey. Chesney has been injured during the international break, so Macey, the 20-year-old, is in the 18 for them today. Gabriel Paulista, Kieran Gibbs, Danny Welbeck, Thomas Rositzky, Theo Walcott and Mathieu Flamini make up a strong-sounding Arsenal 18. And Arsenal have possession just about on this near side, with Bellerin seeing off Coutinho and then finding Cazorla, who ran into Lucas. And now a challenge between Coquelin and Joe Allen, and now Coutinho with Coquelin challenging him again, and then Ozil trying a little fancy bit of skill on this near side, which Coquelin didn't really appreciate because it went wrong and Liverpool won the throw in. But then Cazorla has got a foot in once again for Arsenal. It's all rather scrappy in the midfield. Sanchez is trying to bring some order to proceedings, and he has done. And here's Bellerin and now Ozil on the right hand side. Ozil thought about accelerating and then thought it was too much, and then crossed it, hit the defender, and it's out for a throw on the near side.
Yeah, and Ozil's come over to this right hand side for Arsenal, trying to have a little bit of joy down here. Didn't get a great deal of joy down that left hand side, out of Markovic.
Interception there by Sakho from Cazorla's pass, hence the groan from the Arsenal fans, and a chance for Liverpool here to counter. And Henderson is steaming forward, and Chan is accelerating outside him here. Emre Can down the right hand side of the penalty box. On goes Chan for a while, thought about continuing his run, then laid it back to Henderson. Markovic is in the centre with Sterling. Coutinho just outside the box. Henderson and Allen exchange passes. Now Coutinho again. Sterling makes the run off Koscielny. Sterling into the box. Left-hand side. Holds the ball up. Looks for the cross. He's found Henderson. Oh, he's just too far in front of Henderson, whose run was completely unseen by Arsenal. Henderson's cross. Ramsey's header, and Ospina will come for that and make it his. But all of a sudden it's Liverpool who are putting their hands to their faces, because they've created some good moments. The best moments of the last 15 minutes have all been Liverpool, in fact.
Yeah, and it was wonderful vision there from Sterling as well. Picked his head up, spotted Henderson on the far post as well, just dinked it over to him, but just overhit it. Similar to Markovic in a way. It's a much harder pass this time from Sterling as he crossed it over to Henderson. If it had fallen to Henderson, he was probably 10 yards out of goal with a free shot sight at goal. Very unfortunate for Liverpool.
That was the thing, wasn't it? Nobody had seen Henderson's run from an Arsenal point of view. He's a big guy too. Here's Coutinho running it to Arsenal once again, coming in off the left-hand side. Lucas just plays it forward to Markovic. Wide to Henderson on the right. Back to Lucas for Liverpool. Arsenal are all back behind the ball bar Giroud, and even Giroud's doing a bit of defending now as well. So the pattern of the game has completely changed now. Forward by Sakho, to Coutinho and back to Sakho, and now Sakho has got it inside Arsenal's half comfortably. Why'd they move it to the right-hand side to Markovic? Now Henderson out there on the far side. Spotted a run by Lucas, but decided not to play the pass. Now Lucas gets it from Emre Can. Back out wide to Henderson again. Henderson almost set off a 1-2, but passes infield to Markovic. Little 1-2 with Coutinho. Markovic away from the challenge of Ramsey. Markovic to the edge of the box. We couldn't play the pass to Coutinho. It was an interception by Mertesacker, and it was a vital one for Arsenal, who then give it away through Ozil. Too cheaply, you have to say. Mourinho towards the edge of the box for Liverpool. He's got Sterling right with him. Sterling tried the dribble away from Bellerin. Bellerin too strong. Sterling never really got complete control of the ball. And now Ozil has to be more careful, and he beats two. And he is pushed over by Moreno and wins Arsenal a free kick.
Yeah, that was poor that time from Sterling. Didn't have control of the ball at all. Gave it away too cheaply. Allowed Ozil to break free from the... probably about 10 yards from the byline. Did very, very well as a sensible foul in the end from Moreno, just bringing Ozil down before that Arsenal attack could come to anything.
Delightful drop of the shoulder from Ozil. There wasn't there. Sent one tackle going completely in the opposite direction. Yeah, that was impressive.
Amazing how the game's flipped completely on its head, hasn't it, as well? Arsenal so dominant in the opening period of the game. Liverpool have really come back into it. Arsenal themselves have been giving the ball away an awful lot in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Much better from Liverpool.
Here's Coquelin on the centre spot almost as he played the diagonal pass out to the left-hand side, too far in front of Sanchez. Sanchez with the positive body language, applauding the pass and giving it the thumbs up, but it was a good 5 yards too far and went on the far side. Hi to Rob Parry, who's listening to Arsenal-Liverpool with us on a cooling but clear Melbourne, Australia evening with a full lunar eclipse outside. Rob, who is a Liverpool fan, at talkSPORT Live. Thanks for listening, Rob. Great to have you with us today. Guess that means it's dark, right?
Yeah. Figure so.
Where are we? 13 minutes from half-time, 12 and a bit minutes from half-time. Arsenal with a terrific start, winning the ball high up the field at, well, seemingly every minute for a moment. Liverpool unable to string passes together, but as the game's gone on, they've come into it, Liverpool, and have had the best chances of the game. Now, break in play because Giroud has a head injury, and he is saying to the referee that the reason I have a head injury is because Mamadou Sakho has whacked me.
And he did. His hand caught Giroud in the face. I don't think it was particularly intentional. Sakho completely looking at the ball, did win the header, but his hand did just catch Giroud. Giroud's not in the slightest bit happy.
It's very interesting because the two Frenchmen, and they're clearly exchanging swear words in English out there. Arsenal possession.
Can only lip read certain words, and that's certainly one of them.
Yeah, that was one. I think most people around the world could have pulled off that job, I think. Anyway, back to the football. Giroud is okay, needless to say. And here's Koscielny dribbling the ball up towards the halfway line under no pressure. Sanchez gave it straight back to him. Now they look for the long ball towards Giroud, and across comes Touré and hacks it away towards halfway. Nodded forward by Monreal for Arsenal. Emre Can takes it, then plays the back pass to Mignolet, even though Giroud was sniffing around. Mignolet clears over halfway. Coquelin, neat header down to his left to Monreal. Markovic was buzzing around for Liverpool. It just seems that both sides are playing somewhat more conservatively now, Matt.
Yeah, they certainly are. The game was very much end-to-end, wasn't it, initially for the first 25 minutes? But yeah, both teams almost sitting back themselves, depending on who's got the ball.
Here's Sanchez, though, accelerating into the penalty area, left side. Markovic gets back, blocks his path, and allows the ball to run out for a goal kick to Liverpool. Alexis Sanchez, who at one point in January had scored 12 goals in 16 games. Now that stat just reads 1 in the last 12 in all competitions. Has he tired to some degree, do you think, as the season's gone on?
I would imagine he has, and also players have started taking more notice of him as well. He was a new commodity almost to the Barclays Premier League at the beginning of the season. People didn't know anything about it, or didn't know a great deal about him, his style of play. Right now, defenders are certainly have stood up and taken notice of him, marking him a lot tighter, not giving him anywhere near as much space. And yes, he's also played an awful lot of football this season. You mentioned just played for Chile as well, here at the Emirates recently. So yeah, I would imagine he's also tiring as well, coming into well into the second half of the season here in the Barclays Premier League.
0-0, 10 minutes to half-time. Arsenal box here. Ozil and Sanchez trying to work some space where there was none. Sanchez now just using his body to try and force his way through, but Liverpool standing up to that too. And Liverpool, for the time being, very much sitting back in their formation and saying to Arsenal now, OK, you break us down. And Arsenal not capable for the time being. Here's Coquelin with a reverse ball. Touré is there, edge of his own box, clears. Straight back to Coquelin as it happens. And Bellerin down the line towards Ramsey, no way through. Moreno was too strong. Coutinho then loses it to Coquelin again, and Arsenal have it back once more. Footnote on Sanchez, he's got the Copa America coming up at the end of the season in Chile as well. Ramsey back to Bellerin inside the box. Oh, Bellerin, nice skill, and Bellerin! It's a splendid goal for Arsenal by the young right back Hector Bellerin. A huge goal for Arsenal. And a beautifully taken curling shot by Bellerin. Arsenal 1, Liverpool 0.
Absolutely individual goal that from Hector Bellerin. Completely unopposed as he's running into the Liverpool penalty area. Little a sway of the hips as well, and I think he's sent Joe Allen the wrong way. And he's just curled it with his left foot, just placed it into the far corner of the Liverpool goal. Actually, it was Moreno who sent the wrong way. Really poor defending from Moreno there. 16 yards out, great finish from Bellerin though nonetheless, but really, really poor defending from Liverpool's point of view. Far too easy for Hector Bellerin.
Well, that is a delightful goal, curled beyond the diving Simon Mignolet, past his right hand, and a goal that speaks of the growing confidence of Hector Bellerin on such a huge stage, on such a big day, for the young man to come and steal the headlines potentially and to score a goal of that ability. It's a huge statement, isn't it, Matt?
It really was, in one of the biggest games in the Premier League this season as well. Far too easy for him, but what a wonderful little shimmy as well to send Moreno the wrong way, and then the finish was absolutely exquisite.
Ozil now on the left-hand side for Arsenal, tried to get a cross in, it was deflected towards Giroud, but Liverpool clear. And well, the attention prior to the match was about one 20-year-old, wasn't it? Hector Bellerin's not going to be asking for $100,000 a week, I wouldn't think, as a result. But you've got to do your talking on days like today, and Bellerin just shouted very loudly.
He did. And I feel it came as well when Liverpool had just started to sit back too much as well. They left Sterling very, very isolated up the pitch. Just gave Arsenal too much time and space in and around the penalty area.
Here's Sanchez, now Ozil with the shoulder lifting one in towards Giroud. The showman Ozil, he got caught there by Sarko Ozil as he moved one on to Ramsey. 5 yards outside the box, maybe 6 yards outside the box. Anthony Taylor says free kick, and I want to work with you, Sarko.
Yeah, rightly so. It's a really poor challenge from Sarko. Obviously disappointed just to concede a goal. That's an incredibly late tackle there on Ozil. I think the referee Anthony Taylor did very well. Didn't allow play to go on, just brought it back for the free kick there, had a word with Sarko. No yellow card, but good refereeing from Anthony Taylor.
Simon Mignolet, who made two excellent saves from Cazorla and Ramsey in the first 5 minutes, beaten by Bellerin, and now facing this free kick. Mesut Ozil is lining this one up. 25 yards from goal, to the right of centre, but not by much. 5 men in a Liverpool wall. Sarko actually making it 6. It feels right for Mesut Ozil. Sanchez is there too. Mignolet is just jigging up on his goal line. Ozil shoots, goes for goal and scores! It's 2-0 to Arsenal! 2 in 3 minutes! First from Bellerin and then delightfully curled in by Mesut Ozil. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 0.
He was a recipient of a real bad challenge from Sarko only moments ago. Dusts himself down, stands up and curls that one into the net. I think question marks have to be asked of Mignolet. The wall was protecting the other side of the goal, and Ozil's just curled it into the far side. I think Mignolet is wrongly positioned there. That's far too easy. Didn't hit it with massive pace, Ozil. A little bit of a power curl, but that's far too easy. I think you have to fully question Mignolet there. I think he's standing far too far to the left-hand side of his goal.
It certainly went exactly in that corner. It was well placed, it was right in the corner. but if Mignolet wasn't guarding that side, then what was he guarding?
Exactly. You set the wall up to guard the the left-hand side of his goal. He's got to be standing on the other side, not completely, obviously, but he's standing far too much in the middle of his goal. And as I say, he didn't fully drive through Ozil, far too easy, but a wonderful finish nonetheless.
Well, 2-0 to Arsenal, and there are 4 minutes to half-time. And here's Coutinho for Liverpool, and he's finding Henderson, and Koscielny is finding an important tackle for Arsenal. And Cazorla is trying to dribble the ball out and didn't get very far, but Koscielny helps out for a second time. Giroud wins a header towards halfway. These are 2 significant goals in the race for the top 4. Liverpool know this is a game they can't afford to lose. Ramsey down the right-hand side for Arsenal. They're looking for a third, you know. Ozil trying to play it through. Toure goes to clear it and sliced it right in front of his goalkeeper. He's given away a corner. It might have been worse.
Defenders union there will back Toure there. If he hasn't had a big enough and a loud enough, an early enough shout from Mignolet, he's got to clear it. I think after the fact the shout comes from Mignolet after Toure's already skewed it behind the goal.
Arsenal corner. The right-hand side. The left boot of Ozil's going to swing this in. Liverpool shaky. Giroud was up, and Giroud's flicked header goes wide to his evident disgust. 3 minutes to half-time, 2-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, and Liverpool are fully rattled now as well, as we've just seen from the miscommunication between Toure and Mignolet. A very good spell for Arsenal here. 2 wonderful goals as well from the left foot of Bellerin and the left foot of Ozil.
Yeah, and 2 significant goals in terms of the ambitions of both clubs this season. 3 minutes to half-time, 2-0 to the Arsenal. And you're listening to Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT. And 2 very calmly placed finishes as well into the same corner of Mignolet's net from first Bellerin and then from Ozil in different situations, but the precision and the accuracy of those 2 finishes was top class from Arsenal. Ball back in play over on the far side. Liverpool, well, going to need a response. In some ways they've been, I mean, they had the clearest chance of the game when Markovic botched the pass to Sterling when they were both through on the goalkeeper 20 minutes in. Having had a nervous start and clearly having a bad end to the first half, they had a very good part in between time.
Yeah, they really did, and they should have taken advantage of that. You say Markovic and Sterling, well, it was Markovic who fluffed his lines, wasn't it? It was a simple pass, just a little diagonal ball sideways, maybe 10-yard pass. It massively overhit, and they've paid the price for that as well. Arsenal have really stepped it up in the last 5 or 10 minutes. 2 goals have proved that.
Sanchez trying to find the run of Cazorla over on the far side, the left for Arsenal. Allen brings it away for Liverpool. Finds Sterling. Sterling's passed through to Coutinho, just hit the heels of Bellerin as he was backtracking, and then Sterling was fouled by Sanchez near the centre circle, and Liverpool will have themselves. The price is a high one at the moment. To what extent did Liverpool just take their foot off the gas a little bit, though, and retreat back? We were talking about them challenging Arsenal to break them down. Well, in the end, that's exactly what Arsenal did.
They did. For some reason, they got on their heels sort of 28, 29 minutes through this first half. They sat back. They started defending almost in a 3-6-1 formation, leaving Sterling completely isolated up front. Gave Arsenal far too much space as well.
Coutinho's trying to play Markovic in behind, and Ospina just came out in the nick of time. Arsenal are trying to play a high line, aren't they? It is leaving space at times.
Yeah, it is, and there was there as well, just for Coutinho to chip it in behind Koscielny. But Ospina was clearing up very, very nicely behind his back 4.
And actually, Coquelin didn't close down Coutinho quickly enough, did he? So he could play that pass
exactly
over the top.
Allowed Coutinho to get his head up and pick a pass.
There's space here for Arsenal to pick another pass, and it's Sanchez on the edge of the box, and Sanchez! Arsenal! It's 3-0 to the Gunners! 3 goals in the last 8 minutes of the first half to do intolerable damage to Liverpool's hopes of a top 4 place. Surely there's no way back from this 3-goal burst. Sanchez with the third of them, and the most spectacular. It's Arsenal 3, Liverpool 0.
Liverpool have let this game run away from them. That's 3 goals in 8 minutes for Arsenal. And what a magnificent finish from Sanchez. I said that Ozil didn't put his laces through the ball. Sanchez has done exactly that, straight down the throat of Mignolet as well. But the pace has just taken it past Mignolet before he could react. What a strike that is.
It just bounces up ever so slightly, and as he's swinging the right boot through it, it maybe adds a little bit of extra zing to the ball, which speeds past Mignolet, wobbling in the air as it does so. It's a 20th Arsenal goal for Alexis Sanchez, a 14th in the Barclays Premier League, and as we mentioned, just his second in the last 13 games in all competitions. But my goodness, it's one to lift the spirits not just of Sanchez but of everybody of a red and white persuasion. And for Brendan Rodgers, well, the 2-1 home defeat to Manchester United was dispiriting a fortnight ago. This is considerably worse.
It certainly is, and what a great time for Arsenal to score that third as well.
The half-time whistle goes, and the cheers around the Emirates Stadium as their players leave the field. It was started by Hector Bellerin, continued by Mesut Ozil, and then wrapped up the first half with a bullet from Alexis Sanchez. Liverpool, who botched the best chance of the half, have been stunned. The half-time score is 3-0 to Arsenal. And this is talkSPORT's coverage of the Barclays Premier League live.
Tomorrow on Barclays Premier League Live, Burnley versus Tottenham Hotspur from Turf Moor.
Company wins it back to Boyd! Oh, what a goal! George Boyd fitted it in for Burnley and sends Turf Moor wild.
They wanted to be a lot higher up the table, of course. The challenge is quite evident that it's hard to do that. But I think at game 10, when we were written off by so many, that's a marker in itself that we are in there with every chance of doing it. Now, of course, the challenge is not words, the challenge is to perform and get points on the table.
Kyle Walker inside the area, the cutback comes to Kane! It's 2! Harry Kane is just too hot to handle.
It's important still fight and try to get the 3 points Sunday. Difficult game, tough game, because Burnley play for survival in Premier League, and I think that is a very difficult pitch, and we need to be strong for get the 3 points.
Followed by Sunderland versus Newcastle from the Stadium of Light.
Right pass out to Van Aanholt, lovely touch, takes him beyond the... Get a ball into the middle, oh yes he can, and it's a goal! It's a goal! Dan Rodwell has levelled things up for Sunderland!
We still need points, and we still have only 8 games left. So in that way, it's very important that we can show our fans that we really want to win. And if we can get them behind us, it can be a very important weapon.
Space across, Yanmar gets it over. Cisse! Papi Cisse on the mark again for Newcastle United. His 11th goal of the season.
We all know it is one of the biggest games in the North East, in my eyes, in the world. So it's something I'm looking forward to. We know our record recently is not very good. We have to break that situation, and I think we have enough in that dressing room to do that.
And then Monday, Crystal Palace versus Manchester City from Selhurst Park.
Goal! Zaha on the verge of half-time. Wilfried Zaha has given Palace the lead. In 5 minutes for the Eagles.
Well, when we mentioned we wanted to carry that through, but unfortunately the internationals come in the way. But no, it's been a good period for us because our players have played well in the internationals as well. So they've carried their good form through, and now we start again, albeit a little bit later on Monday night.
Bonnie's won it, Bonnie lifts it in! Goal. Wilfried Bonnie scores the opening goal for Manchester City, the first goal of his City career for Wilfried Bonnie.
If we want to continue in the first position of the table, we must not drop any more points, but easy to say, it's not easy to do it. We just know that now, till the end of the season, we must try to win all the games, and we'll see if we can do it.
That's all still to come on Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT.
Terrific end to the first half at the Emirates Stadium for Arsenal, but a dreadful one for Liverpool. 3 Arsenal goals went in the last 8 minutes of it. Here are the moments from the first 45. Ramsey back to Bellerin inside the box. Oh, Bellerin, nice skill. And Bellerin! It's a splendid goal for Arsenal by the young right back.
head to Bellerin. A huge goal for Arsenal. And a beautifully taken curling shot by Bellerin.
It feels right for Mesut Ozil. Sanchez is there too. Mignolet is just jigging up on his goal line. Ozil shoots, goes for goal and scores! It's 2-0 to Arsenal. 2 in 3 minutes. First from Bellerin and then delightfully curled in by Mesut Ozil. Space here for Arsenal to pick another pass, and it's Sanchez on the edge of the box, and Sanchez has scored for Arsenal. It's 3-0 to the Gunners. 3 goals in the last 8 minutes of the first half to do intolerable damage to Liverpool's hopes of a top 4 place. Surely there's no way back from this 3-goal burst. It's Arsenal 3, Liverpool 0. At talkSPORT Live on Twitter with your thoughts as to where that leaves your club from the first half at the Emirates Stadium. What can Liverpool do? They had big chances prior to that first goal for Arsenal. Our next featured match at 3 o'clock UK time is Manchester United against Aston Villa, another key chapter in the race for the top 4 places. Let's hear from both managers ahead of that one.
I have thought after the Liverpool game that the international break was not at the right moment. But when I see my players performing in the national teams, I'm very pleased. It's also confirming our view about players, and I'm very happy.
We say it every week. You know, there's every team can beat anyone, and in this division, that's the beauty of the Premier League. We just think it will be an upset. You know, we think we're capable of going there and upsetting them. We've got a lot of pace in our team on the counter attack, so we're looking to exploit.
3 points above the bottom 3, but not out of danger just yet. Also at 3 o'clock, Everton, Southampton, Leicester, West Ham, Swansea, Hull and West Brom QPR are all available via the talkSPORT website, talksport.com. When we come back, analysis of the first half at the Emirates Stadium, where Arsenal are 3 goals up. You are listening to Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT.
One planet, one game, one football. The all-new One Football app is available right now for iOS, Android and Windows phones. With all the latest football news, live scores, results, highlights and more from the Premier League, Champions League and hundreds of international competitions. Download the One Football app from your app store today to follow all the Premier League matches with live text commentary and vote for your man of the match. One Football, the best app for football fans.
Noble tackle by Van Aanholt, but he still bounces in his path, and here's Sacco into the ground, into the. It's a day of despair for Dick Advocaat.
This is Barclays Premier League Live. Exclusive global Premier League radio commentary and post-match analysis.
Back to Mata again. Mata! Oh! What a goal by Juan Mata! One of the best goals you are ever going to see.
Barclays Premier League Live. All the biggest games every Premier League weekend.
Fabregas delivers it into William. This is Remy! Oh, terrible error by Alan McGregor. It squirms underneath him. And less than a minute after being on the field, the Frenchman has given Chelsea the lead once again.
This is Barclays Premier League Live. Never miss a kick of the Barclays Premier League. All weekend, every weekend.
Gibson works it wide to the right. Coleman cuts it across. Kone's in there. Lennon! 2-1. Aaron Lennon with the goal for Everton.
Exclusively live Barclays Premier League action throughout the season. This is Barclays Premier League Live.
Goal! Zaha! On the verge of half-time. Wilfried Zaha has given Palace the lead. 2 goals in 5 minutes for the Eagles.
This is Barclays Premier League Live. Exclusive global Premier League radio commentary and post-match analysis.
Cazorla on this right-hand side, and he swings it over. There's a free header and in, and it's Giroud with a second goal of the game, and Arsenal have doubled our advantage.
Barclays Premier League Live. Exclusive worldwide coverage and full match commentary of the Barclays Premier League.
Real moment here in the match. Kane! 3 for Harry Kane. They are back in front again and so indebted to their New England striker.
talkSPORT live on TuneIn. This is Real Radio.
Back in the net!
Every Barclays Premier League match is live, including next Sunday's Manchester derby.
To Mata again. Mata! Oh! What a goal by Juan Mata!
Every kick, every goal from the home of football on TuneIn in association with talkSPORT.com, official global audio partner of the English Premier League.
This is Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT. Final run in to the end of the season, and what a statement by Arsenal in the first 45 minutes of it, scoring 3 times against Liverpool. But Matt Lawrence, not necessarily a first half in which you would say Arsenal were significantly better over the course of the entire piece.
No, they certainly weren't. They were very, very dominant in the 15 minutes, but then Liverpool completely came back into the game, had the best opportunity of the match up until that point when Markovic should have just rolled Sterling in for a simple tap into an empty Arsenal net. But after that really good sustained spell Liverpool had, I just feel they sat back, they took their foot off the gas, they invited Arsenal onto them, they invited Arsenal pressure, and they conceded from their point of view 3 very, very bad goals. Certainly the Hector Bellerin one was bad defending. I think the Ozil free kick was poor goalkeeping from Mignolet. Look, the third one was an absolutely wonder strike from Sanchez, but even still, Liverpool gave the ball away in unnecessary places, as they had done in the opening spell of the game when they invited Arsenal's pressure on in the opening 10 minutes.
In some defence to Liverpool, perhaps the reason they were sitting off was because Arsenal were pushing up, leaving space in behind, and there was evidence Liverpool could do damage on the counter-attack.
Yeah, they had done, and every time Coutinho had the ball, he did get his head up, and he was looking in behind Koscielny and Mertesacker. Reason to completely switch off like that. I don't know whether they thought, a few minutes before half-time, or 8 minutes before half-time, we'll try and take it into half-time at 0-0, we'll sit back a little bit. But it just absolutely backfired massively. It was a wonderful individual effort from Bellerin, but again, as I say, the defending was very, very poor from Liverpool.
Is there a way back?
No, I can't see it now, not at 3-0. Arsenal don't concede many goals at the Emirates as it is. I'm sure Liverpool will make changes, whether it's right now, it will certainly be very, very soon. But I think Liverpool have just got to consolidate here and not concede any more goals.
We were talking beforehand about the fact that Liverpool had managed to string 6 consecutive away clean sheets together. But today, they've conceded 3 goals in the first half to Arsenal. The second half, when we come back, this is talkSPORT's coverage of the Barclays Premier League live.
To everyone ready to take a step, make a difference and prosper. To everyone who puts on their team jersey and cheers their team on from 1,000 miles away. To everyone ready to play the beautiful game in the right way and play their part in making this the greatest season ever. We at Barclays, proud sponsors of the Barclays Premier League, say thank you. You are the true spirit of the game. If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered. talkSPORT's international service covers every Barclays Premier League match live.
What a pass to Juan Mata. Control Juan Mata. Goal Juan Mata. Goal Manchester United. And that is exactly what the Red Devils' opening performance in this game has deserved.
Full match commentary, pre- and post-match game analysis, goals as they go in from every single Barclays Premier League match.
Here's Fernando. No room for the shot. Bonny's won it. Bonny lifts it in.
Goal.
Wilfried Bonny scores the opening goal for Manchester City. The first goal of his City career for Wilfried Bonny.
Hear goals as they go in from around the grounds during our feature commentary match.
Zola just gets it over him. Welbeck flicks it on and deflected home by Giroud. And Arsenal have the lead. 23 minutes on the clock. It's 12 in the Premier League season for the Frenchman.
Every game is covered.
Oh my goodness me, Courtois has given it straight to Abel Hernandez. And Hull are level. 2 goals in 2 minutes for the Tigers. And they are roaring their way back into this game.
Get involved in debates, ask in-game questions to our commentary team, and get the world's fastest goal updates with @talkSPORT live on Twitter.
On the edge of the area is Osman. Free money's Coleman down the right. Seamus Coleman! Oh, yes! Lovely finish from the fullback.
This is Barclays Premier League Live, exclusive global Premier League radio commentary and post-match analysis.
Nice roll pass forward to Kyle Walker inside the area. The cutback comes to Kane. It's 2. Harry Kane is just too hot to handle. He touches at the moment, turns to goal.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. The Barclays Premier League Live, brought to you by talkSPORT Live. Get the ultimate fan experience by booking an official football package with Champions Travel, talkSPORT's international travel partner. Champions Travel are the authorised hospitality partner of several major European clubs, including Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United, making us the one-stop shop for unforgettable match breaks, including official match tickets, tailored hospitality packages and quality hotel accommodation. Book your trip of a lifetime today with Champions Travel at talksport.com/travel. Make it happen.
Welcome back to our coverage of Arsenal against Liverpool from the Emirates Stadium. I'm your host, Richard Connolly. Alongside me, the former Crystal Palace, Millwall and Fulham defender, Matt Lawrence. You are listening to Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT. And I can say that as the players come out for the start of the second half, Daniel Sturridge is waiting for his instructions to come on. Not necessarily surprising, but he is coming on to try and change the course of this game, which stands at 3-0 to Arsenal at half-time. So the Arsenal team we can give you, they don't appear to be making any changes at half-time. Ospina in goal, Bellerin, Mertesacker, Koscielny and Monreal is their back four. Coquelin, Cazorla and Ramsey in midfield, and then Sanchez and Ozil either side of Giroud. I'm sure I just heard Markovic, Matt, is the player that Sturridge is coming on for at half-time. Mignolet is the goalkeeper. That's the whistle for the start of the second half. Although Giroud's still doing his shoelaces up, says the referee. Sorry, I wasn't quite ready for that. So referee whistles again, and then we get back underway. So Liverpool, Mignolet in goal. Chan, Toure and Sakho is the back three. Allen, Lucas and Henderson was the midfield three, with Moreno down the left. I guess they'll move Henderson wide to the right-hand side. Yep, we're looking. That's exactly what's happening. Matt is pointing it out alongside me. And that leaves Coutinho, Sterling and Sturridge. Talk us through Liverpool's game plan now as we get back underway in the second half.
Well, they've got to hit back, and they've got to hit back early. It's no surprise that Sturridge came onto the pitch. I thought he may well come on for Joe Allen or for Lucas Leiva. Brendan Rodgers has decided to leave those two guys on. Liverpool now, it looks like Leiva's sitting very, very deep, and they've pushed Henderson over to the right-hand side. Sterling's dropped into the left-hand side as well. Sturridge is going to play up through the centre on his own. But yeah, Liverpool have got to get on the front four very early in this second half. Not like they did in the first half when they let Arsenal attack them. But it doesn't appear to be working too well at the moment for Liverpool. Toure looking very, very jittery on the board, as he did in the opening part of the game.
Yes, Toure coming in for the suspended Martin Skrtel, and we can only speculate as to the cost of Skrtel's absence today. Such an important defender for Liverpool, and they haven't looked the same. Well, quite frankly, 6 consecutive away clean sheets, and they're 3-0 down at half-time. You can make your own conclusions. Liverpool are in a change strip of all black today. Arsenal, of course, at the Emirates, all in their traditional red and white, and Arsenal are attacking the goal to our left in this second half. Sturridge is on. What does that do for Sterling and Coutinho? I mean, Sterling played pretty much as the number 9, didn't he, in the first half? What did you make of how he got on there?
Yeah, we didn't really get a great deal of change out of either Mertesacker or Koscielny, and that doesn't surprise me at all. I said that he doesn't play very, very well when he's got his back to goal, Sterling. Now he's facing up the goal. He's playing on the left-hand side, played just to the left of Sturridge. Coutinho will kind of drop into that number 10 role. Wears number 10 shirt as well. He'll just play off Sturridge as well. And they've got obviously more chances. They only really had that one chance in the first half. Most unlike Liverpool.
Sterling now trying to dribble down the left-hand side with Moreno in close attendance. Moreno and Bellerin running side by side. Moreno feels Bellerin was impeding his run and has appealed to the referee for a free kick, which he has not received. The referee is Anthony Taylor today. And so we've got a goal kick to Arsenal coming up. You've had the lineups, though, at the start of the second half. The scoreline, thanks to those goals in the last 8 minutes of the first half from Bellerin, from Ozil and from Sanchez, is 3-0 to Arsenal. And you are listening to Barclays Premier League Live with talkSPORT. A goal kick from Arsenal. Header clear there by Emre Can, picked up by Alexis Sanchez. Nice little reverse pass towards Cazorla, and the tackle by Chan is ruled a foul by Anthony Taylor. They've got an Arsenal free kick here, which is 25-30 yards from goal maybe. Cazorla had just played a little reverse pass, and Emre Can came sliding in, and the referee decided that it was a foul by the Liverpool defender.
Yeah, I think that was quite a bad foul from Emre Can, but I think he's being booked as much for the foul as for his reaction. His reaction after the referee's given the foul, very, very petulant, ranting and raving at the referee. I think Anthony Taylor has dealt with this game very, very well so far, 48 minutes in. There was a bad tackle, there's no need for the tackle from Can, then there's also no need for the reaction afterwards. I think that is really sensible refereeing from Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, he caught Cazorla in fact, and